Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back with 0 Hour, episode 19. Your host, Tim Lloyd, joined by my man, Jeff Hobbs. We got Justin Watson in the house, Torres Finney. Also, maybe Greg Hopkins drops in today. We'll see. Who knows? It's possible. Stay tuned. And it's, we're getting ready to rock and roll into February, of course. We put the finishing touches on Aries 3, getting ready to go to Aries 4. Torres got his pro debut coming up just a couple weeks after that. So, going to be a busy next few weeks. Running down the show today, we're going to check back in on our UFC locks. We started our new fresh tally last week, UFC Vegas 46. We've got your locks for this week, of course, on deck. UFC 271 double title fight this weekend. And then we've got some interviews coming up here in just a little bit. We're going to talk to Dustin Bailey. We're going to talk to Richard Guerrero, his opponent actually as well. And then we're going to talk to Zaine Burton ahead of all three of those guys got title fights coming up here in just a few short weeks. Aries 4, February 4th. World famous Cotton Eye Joe. Let's dive into it. Jeff, my man, how's it going? We're getting ready to get busy again. 2 shows in February. And then March starting to already kind of take shape. I'm excited to get some of these fights out there for March.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to. I was just fixing to maybe send out a message and see if we can get a couple graphics going so we're not wasting time. But yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow, it's time to rock and roll. But, this weekend is all about right here, NFL playoffs, baby. I'm loading up in the morning. Got me a room downtown for the next couple days, and
nice.
It's all divisional playoffs starting tomorrow. So let's go Titans.
All right, we got Torres Finney, my man. Get ready, pro debut. We're about a month out from you starting to crack heads with Wes McCracken. How's the training going? How's the how's camp? I'd say you're fuck me, right? He's it's like Torres is
he's back. Hold on.
He'll be back. Oh, here he comes.
He's back. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. He's back.
I just can't. Can you hear me, Torres? I don't know if it's Torres' internet here. Can you hear us, guy?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Well, while we wait on Torres to get his technical situation right, we got Justin Watson, of course, too. Justin, my man, back to it with the UFC last week. If you followed the panel, with the exception of you probably made pretty good money.
Yeah. I fell in the hole last week. Hopefully I can redeem myself this week.
Of course, we've got to ask you guys the big favor of giving us a like. Hit the like, hit the subscribe bell if you would as well. You get a notification every time we post. Of course, we're not too far off now. Just a couple weeks away from getting the fights from Aries 3 posted up here on the 0 Hour channel. So make sure you subscribe. You can get notified whenever we post new content. Give us a like, comment, all that good stuff. Also, if you follow our social media, that would be awesome. Aries Fight Series on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Torres, you're looking like you're not so choppy this time. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I couldn't hear anything y'all was saying. Hear me well now?
We can. We were talking a lot of shit, I guess, but that was about it. Nothing, not a big deal.
That's a good thing. My man,
Torres.
To be here, man.
Yeah. So, I came to you. I was saying, we're about a month away from the pro debut at this point. You're in full swing for camp. You're there helping your teammates get ready as well for Aries coming up here in just a couple weeks. What's the vibe like over at Agogi as it's all systems go for some of the big guys?
Yeah, man. It's been going really good, man. The beauty of this gym, man, is you have a lot of different people come in and out, and you get to train with a lot of top tier guys, man. And that's the beauty of it right now. I'm being blessed with a lot of good guys here at the gym, man, that helped me prepare for my first pro fight. Got guys like Logan Neal and Greg Hopkins. And, we have been blessed with an addition as well, Garrett Gross, former UFC Contender Series fighter as well. So, man, I've been getting a lot of really good work in here. And I think I am really prepared for this upcoming fight. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling crisp now, just doing the weight cut stuff now. But besides that, man, I'm ready. The tickets been sold. I got my paper tickets. I'm already down. I'm only down to like 15.
Oh, wow.
I've sold nearly all of my paper tickets. So, it's ready to go, man. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
hey man, we're taking over Macon on February 19th. I'm
Yes,
definitely
sir.
excited
Yes,
for that.
sir.
Wes McCracken, Torres, Finney going down. It's February 19th. Make sure you get your tickets for that. We just confirmed we'll be on Spectation now for that event. I've been kind of having to dot some I's and cross some T's to get us on the paperwork down there, but we will be on Spectation, which is cool, which means that Action 24/7 will be able to carry odds on those fights, the pro fights down there, since Aries is attached to it, which is definitely one of the things that we were aiming to do. So we'll stay tuned for all that. Of course, Action 24/7, one of our big sponsors here. If you use promo code Aries when you sign up, they're going to match your initial deposit up to $800. You can bet on the Aries fights. You bet on the UFC this weekend. You can tail us. If you tailed us last week, you did pretty good, man. Everybody came out with the exception of Justin. Everybody came out ahead pretty good. So hopefully we can continue this streak and we can all make some money out there betting on this UFC 217. So let's jump into a recap, guys. So last week we were back with UFC Vegas 46. Not a whole lot of finishes on that card, actually. And to recap, of course, going in, we were all fresh here. We're keeping tally for the month of January. So we've only got 3 weeks to make as many units as we can win that cash there at the end. Of course, to recap, Greg did not submit picks last week, so he automatically loses 1 unit. He does have a pick in there with us this week. He may join us, who knows? But if not, I've got his pick. Justin, the only loser last week, Chase Sherman, he takes it even money. Chase, man, he didn't look very great in there. And Jake Colliers, I told you guys, Jake Colliers.
Dude, he just big boyed him. Like, I really didn't expect Jake Collier to be able to have the big size advantage and the strength advantage, and he did. A guy that came up from middleweight. He doesn't look, he doesn't have the best physique in the world, but he came out there ready to go, threw some hard shots, and then got him on the ground and choked his ass out. So it was a good win for him, I think.
Of course, myself, I had, as I'm apt to do, played it a little safe and have gotten myself behind now. Of course, Justin down 1 unit now coming into this week. I had Slava Claus, Borshev, minus 190, and it was Audi. He made it a little easier than I anticipated. I thought Bush would get past the first round, but it was still kind of hairy at the same time because he had to overcome some adversity early in that one. He wins at minus 190. I get 0.53 units ahead with that, but am overtaken by the next 2 guys. Of course, it was Torres with a nice parlay, Caitlin Chukagian and Brandy Royval. Torres, you hit both of them. That was a plus 147. So now up 1.47 units, an all-time high for Torres. Talk about these Torres. Chukagian, I like that one a lot. She didn't make you sweat it, but Royval was a little back and forth.
Wait, Tim, we didn't take away his.
It did make me worry, man. When I saw that split, I was like, whoa. But Royval, I've watched a few of his fights, man. He's really an exciting fighter. Most of his fights, man, he fought some tough guys. I mean, heck, he lost to he really was right there getting ready to potentially contend for the title before he lost to Moreno. And I think, man, he's tough. And I mean, you look at now since I'm starting to understand a little bit how this stuff goes. Though the first season, last year, I didn't really get it. I understood it, but I didn't get like how it worked. So now I'm gonna be making smart choices on my picks. So you'll see. I'm gonna be contending. I know Greg been usually be the champion around this a lot, but I'm contending with him now, and I'm glad he didn't get his pick in. So hopefully he don't get his picks in.
Yeah, right. So of course, now we had a penalty here. Torres misses the show. He loses 20% of his winnings, which is split amongst the 3 of us that did make the show. So 0.27 goes splits 3-way, which is a 0.09 each. Nothing too big, but it will keep Justin it'll kick Justin to under a unit down now, which is actually kind of important. Justin comes in now 0.91 units down. I get my 0.9 to make me plus 6.2. And Torres is at an even 1.2, still sitting pretty, but a little bit behind the leader. And man, it's been probably forever since I've said this. Jeff Hobbs takes Jeff Hobbs with a real nice parlay that just barely edges out Torres as he gets it done with the Brandon Royval pick as well, combined with the over 2.5 in that main event. He gets plus 1.52 units and bump it up to 1.61 units with his bonus and a lead. Jeff, you did it. This is unprecedented times.
Yes, I'd like to first start by thanking everyone that helped me get to this point. Action 24/7 for the odds. Greg for not joining us last week and foregoing his bet. Torres for missing out and generously giving us a percentage of his purse. So, we're going to keep this train rolling all the way to the top. At this point now, I'm going to revert back to the Tim Loy. Now that I've gotten a lead, I'm going to kind of revert back to some of these safer bets now, and now hope for someone else to fall off.
Well, going into this week now, so just to recap one more time here, Jeff in the lead, 1.61 units. Torres right behind him at 1.2 units. Myself am in third at 0.62 units. Ever so slightly under the full unit mark, though, which again is important. If someone were to lose, that would make a difference. Justin, 0.91 units down, and then Greg an even 1 unit down. As we go in,
speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Greg.
What?
Oh, Greg Hopkins is in the house. I was just going over the standings.
Mama, there go that man.
He's saving his points this week. Saving his points.
Yeah, well, he'll get to give you his pick himself. Greg, going over the standings here. If you didn't hear us, Jeff in the lead as we are in week 2 of 3. Also, with no UFC next week, it will be Bellator for our locks. But Jeff in the lead, 1.61 units. Jeff is up here going into week 2 of 3. Torres 1.2 units, not too far behind. I'm at 0.63 units. Justin's down 0.91. You're down 1. So UFC 270 pay-per-view, guys. This is two title fights on this card, and that is where it looks like a lot of our action is coming. There is, there's a lot of contender series types on the undercard. To me, pretty much a pay-per-view heavy card. The rest of this undercard not jumping out to me as anything that is must see, if you will. Now, looking at our picks for this week, Greg, we're going to let you go first since you're down the furthest, down a full unit. Now, Greg, you've got to make a move here, obviously. So, as the rules state, only a two leg max on these parlays. Give it to us. What's your lock of the week as you look to make up ground here?
Hard to pick this week. You have too many fights, so many betting opportunities. It's a degenerate's paradise this weekend in UFC. Just to make it quick, I'm taking 2 dogs this weekend, and one of my dogs I like. I will place separate bets on these, but I'm going to parlay this right here. Cody Stammen. Dude's a monster, man. I think ever since his brother's passed, he's turned it up a new level, and there's just something there, and that fire's been relit in him. So I gotta over anybody really right now. Not anybody, but at this level and this time of frame at plus 165, the value's there. How confident am I in it? I'm not so confident, but like I'm saying, I got to make up ground. And then the next one is another dog, and I'm taking Ngannou. How confident? He's an underdog. He's an underdog for a reason. But if they do get caught in the booth, I think Ngannou, if he's able to touch him, I think he can take him out. That's the only thing I can think, and I know that brings me back at plus 496. And so I got my 1 unit there. And if I'm not mistaken, is that not the highest one that would ever be won? If so, Facto?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Francis plus 120, Cody Stamen plus 165. I really do like that Stamen leg. Francis, I'm on Gone myself, but plus that parlay comes back at at 4.96 units. That's really nice, honestly, when you've got a champ like that comes back as plus money. With Greg being down 1 unit, if he were to win, he'd have 3.96 units, and most likely the lead, I would guess. Justin, we'll go to you next. You are down 0.91 units. You've got a parlay here for us. What's your play?
Yeah, I'm taking a parlay that's not as dangerous as Greg's. Both these guys are pretty decent favorites, 2-1 or so. But I'm going Matt Frivola and Tony Gravely. Both these guys are fighting newcomers. Matt Frivola's got an undefeated guy coming after him, 10-0. But the level of competition is nowhere near the same. Frivola's coming off of a couple losses. I think he needs a big win here. And Tony Gravely, another guy coming off of a loss that I think needs a big win. He's a gritty dude. Both these guys are gritty and can push a pace. And Tony Gravely taking on another newcomer. Look for him to get the win there too. So I will parlay those two pieces.
So Tony Gravely, Matt Frivola comes back at plus 1.12 units. Justin will be in the positive with a win here, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's quite if you're going big enough. We'll see. Myself, I am going to go with a parlay of Brandon Moreno in the co-main event to defend that 125 strap. I thought the second fight it was fairly cut and dry. There's nothing that I've seen that makes me think that Figueiredo is going to have any better shot here. I like it with Michel Pereira, who is a fucking wild man, and it scares me, but he should be way better than than his opponent here. I don't think that this guy, his opponent, he's done some PFL and he's done Bellator, but hasn't been overly impressive. Andre Filial. And I think Pereira is looking to shine. They're looking for him to shine here. That parlay pays back an identical 1.12 units to Justin. That isn't even by design. That's just how it worked out. But 1.12, I stand to. And honestly, I may not have gone big enough to catch these guys, but I'm hoping to whittle it down to within about 0.6, 0.7. Torres, you are just less than half a unit behind Jeff at this point. And up until Greg jumped into the fray, had the highest paying potential parlay. What have you got on your lock of the week this week?
My two locks are Brandon Moreno. The reason why I think really Moreno is going to get him again is, you look at that first fight, and I felt like Figgy tried to walk through Moreno. And when he saw that he couldn't bully him like he bullied those other flyweights, I think that affected him in that second fight. If you watch that second fight, I just watched it like not too long ago, and he seemed really timid. Most of the time he's walking these flyweights down, hands down, don't care, just trying to smash these guys. But he looked really timid against Moreno. And now I think his confidence probably don't got back up. It'll be a much closer fight. But I think Moreno will still. Moreno's a dog, man. He's tough. So I think he'll edge it out. It could be a decision, Moreno. I wouldn't be surprised if Moreno gets the finish, but I think I can see a decision this time. But the gun and Francis, dude, my God, that's a fight. That's a fight. But I've been watching some of that countdown stuff. Listen to how they used to train together and the things about it. The more I listen to that, I know you can't listen to that, and I know Francis probably coming in a little bit with a chip on his shoulder, listening to some of that stuff, but. Man, I think just Gunn got it, man. Unless he gets caught. And I really do believe, even though if Francis catches Gunn, I don't know it would just take one shot to put him out. I think it would have to be multiple for him to put Gunn out. I think Gunn is probably accustomed to some of Francis Ngannou's power. And I know when you've been in the sparring room with the brother for a good minute, I think you learn a lot of things about this guy. This man said he came to the training room and he met Ngannou, and he said Ngannou had just gotten the UFC, and he said he used Ngannou just to build his confidence up. He never thought Ngannou will ever be a world champion. He thought, oh, he's good, but he's nothing I never seen before. So I give me Gunn in that one, man. I don't know. It'll be a fun fight. I think Francis is going to hit him hard a few times, but I think we're going to see Gunn battle tested, and he goes through and still get the victory. And I see you laughing, Greg. What you laughing at?
Yeah, both these guys can't win.
It's just one shot. It's just I thought Stipe had it figured out. Stay away. And of course, I believe that Gunn, would beat Stipe. But that's how I'm looking at it. So, I don't know. One shot.
And not to say Francis isn't technical, because his technique has
He's
gotten
getting
much
better.
It's gotten so much better.
But
So
Gone is head and shoulders above him in the technical range. Gone is
but Gone is exactly. But I mean, look, just not too long ago, we saw Trevor Peak and David Robb. We talking about technique and power. We saw what happened. So
that's why I took him too. I was there thinking, because I haven't. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, hey man, sometimes you got to go with the guy that's just technically sound and way better. And the line shows it too right there, but I don't know. You never know, and we're gonna find out. I'm excited.
So Torres, with that pick, would get plus 1.59, and that would give him the lead, because if he were to win, obviously Greg can't. So that's a big one here on this panel. Jeff with a lead, 1.61 over Torres at 1.2. What is your play, Jeff? You've got yet another parlay.
Yeah, another parlay, but let me just add with Torres bringing up sparring. I don't know if you watched today's first real sit-down discussion with all the fighters, though. It was also revealed, though, that Ngannou knocked Gane out in sparring with a high left kick. And he made sure. Do you
believe that?
And he made sure. Absolutely.
I don't believe that.
Torres, I wouldn't sit here and say I knocked you out if I didn't knock you out.
Fernando Lopez said it didn't happen.
And I love the fact that he also said, no, not knocked down. I knocked him out with it. But nonetheless, I'm going with Pahea as well. I just think he's too much. And like you said, Tim, I think this is right up his alley to continue some sort of climb. I think this opponent was picked to showcase Pahea. And then unlike my cohorts here, I don't give a shit who wins the main event. I'm going inside the distance on the main event and just say that this fight is not seeing a fifth and final bell at 5 minutes of round 5. So those are the two I'm rolling with together, parlaying those two, and try to just keep a nice little steady bump of safeness.
That would pay 0.89 units, and so it would be super close going into that final week if both these guys are able to hit. And again, hey, if you tailed us last week, you came out okay. You actually came out probably a good 2 units to the good. So we'll see how it goes.
What do you show the odds for inside the distance?
Minus 260 that the fight does not see a fifth and final bell.
What's the over under?
4.5.
4.5. Yeah. Well, no. 4.5 is minus 210. It's like 2.5 is more like the even money total.
Okay.
What were the odds on it not going to distance?
Minus 260.
Wow, that's okay. That's on 24/7 too. That's great. Those are the best odds I've seen on that right there. It's been minus 300 everywhere else.
Yeah, minus 260 for any finish.
It's gonna move. It's gonna move. I would jump on it now.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad price.
Do y'all think it's gonna be a finish?
Yes.
I think if for Ngannou to win, it has to be. But for Gane to win, I guess we could look at and it be one of those Derek Lewis kind of fights where
I don't believe it will.
Well, you look at Gane, 2 out of his 3 last fights, he won both by decision.
Yeah,
against Rosenstrike and Alexander Volkov. Now he did.
I know, but those are guys that stayed away from him in the fight too. They didn't want to engage. I think Gane wants to engage.
There's too much emotion in this battle. Like there's too much. So they're too much. And there's no air in the ring, dude. These guys are going to clash, and when they do, one's going to connect. One of them's going out. One of them is.
That is
the Gane will never been finished. So
no, that's true. That's true. Neither has. So for us to get a finish, it would be the first time.
Disqualification draw. What are the draw odds?
That's a good question. Now, you think about it though, that is wild. You're giving minus 260 for expecting something to happen that's never happened to either guy.
Champ versus champ.
Neither guy's ever been finished, and it's 260 that somebody will get finished. So very interesting. All right, that's UFC 207. We'll wrap this bad boy up next week. See how it shakes out. Remember, go to use the Aries promo code at Action247, and you will get double your deposit on your first deposit up to $800. Play along with us this week, and hopefully we'll win some money. let's get into some interviews. I heard from Dustin Bailey. He's struggling with internet, so we may not be able to get him on, but I know that we've got Richard Guerrero ready to rock and roll. So we'll bring Richard in. Justin, we will holler at you next week. We'll catch up with you later, my man.
Sounds good. Y'all take it easy.
Sir.
See you, man.
Torres, Greg, y'all gonna hang out with Richard for a minute?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, let's bring in Richard Guerrero, our first guest. Richard, what's going on, my man?
How's it going, y'all? Good to see you.
Hey, we're doing good. We're glad to have you first-time guest on the 0 Hour. Richard, getting ready to challenge for that Aries Welterweight Championship in the co-main event coming up February the 4th. Aries 4 from the world-famous Cotton Eye Joe. Richard, again, thanks for joining us. I know we're getting down to the nitty-gritty on the training camp now. We're probably about ready to start shedding off the last of that weight. How's it going over there at Gogi Combatives? I was talking to Torres earlier. You've got a large contingent of teammates on this card. That certainly has to make the war prep a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest misconception from people that don't train MMA or maybe watch it from a close eye that it's an individual sport, but it's very much a team sport. And having teammates going through the same kind of training schedule that you are, the same fight camp, that you're able to bounce the same ideas off with the same intensity as, the purpose of being towards a fight, that's very valuable. So yeah, I love going to battle with my brothers, and this is just another card that we're going to do so.
So, of course, in that co-main event, you're coming in undefeated now at this point. All finishes. You've gotten all your guys out of there by submission, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round. And so you're taking on a guy in Dustin Bailey, also undefeated, and I think he has all submissions too. So, certainly if there were odds on this one, you would guess that somebody's going to get submitted, but maybe not. And maybe sometimes it all cancels each other out. Let's talk about the matchup a little bit. Dustin Bailey, guy that we've been high on here, man. Guy that I've personally been high on. I've talked him up. He's a guy that is he's come out here and really took care of not David Lewis, but Jordan. Sorry, thank you, Torres. Jordan Lewis, in a fashion that I think a lot of people were maybe a little surprised. It surprised me, I say, and how quickly you got it done. What's your take on this one, man? It's a tough one. I think everybody knows that. You guys are both finishers. You guys both come from very decorated grappling academies. Him at Team Man and you at Gogi Combatives. Let's talk about this match, man. Chop it up.
Yeah, man. I've been excited for this match ever since I asked for it way back in what was it? Aries? Was it Aries 2? Yeah, It was Aries 2. What was that? That was in was that in November? Yeah,
that was November. That was.
Yeah. And the fact that it's now just a couple of it's 2.5 weeks away. Man, I want the fight to happen tomorrow if possible. Ever since I shook hands with Dustin Bailey at Aries Fight Series 2, and we kind of talked a little bit, I had that feeling in the back of my head that him and I were going to share the cage. He, as a human being, I can't say enough good things about him. He's very respectful. And that's also, a really big factor why I'm excited to fight him. He's a gentleman and so am I. And we're about to go have a war. And man, I couldn't be more excited. Every day I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to have a fight, and it makes you feel alive. It definitely does.
Jeff, you've been in there calling the I guess all of Richard's fights so far. He's one of the guys that I know that you are always excited to talk to afterward because he has such an energy that is infectious.
Oh, absolutely. It's always a fun interview. I know it's all off the cuff, man, but just so well spoken and just I've never seen somebody, whether they've been punched in the face for 5 minutes or just so happy to be in there. But, Richard, it's a different story on the 0 Hour, man. I like to throw the hard questions out.
Go for it, man.
Talk about things, man. One of the things, after this bout started kind of swimming around in Tim's head, and we knew that this was going to happen, that a situation came up where we thought, holy shit, is you and your opponent both entered the same grappling tournament not long after this bout was matched, and we thought, holy shit, these guys are going to see each other on the mat here and kind of get a preview of feeling each other out. And word is it didn't really go your way that day.
Nope.
Tell me how that kind of plays into that mindset, because I could see with some people, okay, maybe that really hangs heavy. But maybe on the flip side, it's almost like, listen, I'll give you that little bit of comfortability. Don't make the mistake of getting comfortable because of how a jiu-jitsu match went. Like Tim was saying, both of you guys have finished all your fights pretty much by submission, but it almost like it could play to your advantage, man. Like if you get too comfortable thinking that little point thing we did, was going to hold a lot of bearing here, you start wrenching on something, I get to punch you in the face next time. So talk about both ways that can be looked at.
Yeah. So off the two scenarios that you described, definitely it's the latter over the former. That's definitely my mindset. I make no excuses. That's why I like combat sports, because it's you in there, and your performance is your performance. So yeah, Dustin Bailey did catch me, and it was really good to feel him. It was really good to kind of get a little preview. But yeah, that was a jiu-jitsu match in just some one-off tournament, and this is a fight for a title, and It's a completely different world. And that's the mentality I have going into it.
I mean, I've heard people even say before, I'm not going to put any words in your mouth, but I know you probably wanted to win that match, but I mean, that would be a hell of a way to kind of backdoor somebody and give them that false sense of hope, is to like, you know what, I'm gonna let you get me. I'm gonna let you get me, and put that false sense in their head that maybe this is going to be easy, and really shock them when it counts, man. But man, what is it? Like I said, when we talk in the cage afterwards, you're always just so upbeat and fun, man. What is it about this sport of mixed martial arts that win or lose, which fortunately for you, you haven't been on that losing side yet, but no matter how a fight goes, man, you're just so damn happy to be competing.
Yeah, let me see if I can just like put that into a proper adjective without being so hyperbolic, because I mean, that's where I can get a little carried away, where I can just, really describe it like it's the most incredible thing in the world, where it makes me feel like I have this, I don't know, this peace and this calmness about me, and I can get really, really hyperbolic, and I can wax poetic about it. But really, man, it's just about the fact that it's the most primal and pure thing that I think a man can do. And women do it too, but I mean, I'm only speaking for myself here. And it's pure. It's pure, and it doesn't lie to you. And whether, thankfully, I have been on on all the sides of victories, and I plan to win this one coming up right here. But it's not about the victories. It's not about the losses. It's about getting yourself into that mindset of competing in a primal and pure way inside of a cage. And man, it's about the closest thing that you can get to what the gladiators did back then. And I think that taps into something inside all of us. It definitely taps into something with me. And all that is just expressing the pure joy. I see a lot of my fellow fighters sometimes complain. I can get a little in the weeds too, when you're just like, oh, showing up to train again, going up to train again. And man, it's all worth it. It's all worth it in the end. And it's really a privilege. It's a privilege to be in shape. It's a privilege to not be injured, to be able to get into the cage and compete. So all of that is just reflected afterwards, man. It's just a big sense of euphoria for me.
The closest thing to a drug there is without actually taking one.
It's absolutely a drug, without a doubt. Yeah.
Well, Torres, you've been. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I look forward, like you said, it doesn't matter who comes out on the winning side of this bout. It's going to be a pleasure calling the fight, calling the winner for the fight, because I know both of you going in there with respect. You're going to leave with respect, and thank you so much.
Yeah, Jeff, I won't drop your mic this time.
Please don't. Please don't. I'm gonna have it on a string.
Torres, you've been a big part of Richard's training, I know, and you've told me how hard it is. You've you've seen him working on this one. You've also been you've called most of Dustin Bailey's fights. You've called Richard's fights. You've called fights with Dustin Bailey. So you're familiar with both these guys. What you got for Richard here?
Yeah, what's beautiful about this fight is all the wins combined in this fight have all ended by a rear naked choke. So that's a common thing between all of them. They like the rear naked choke. But the beauty of it is, man, they both come to fight. And training with Richard, man. I mean, you've been seeing it. I mean, this is the best I've seen Richard. Man, I mean, his training camp for this fight, he knows what is at hand, and he knows the guy that he's getting ready to fight. And it's for a title. It's for Aries Fight Series title. And this is no cakewalk. He knows it requires a lot of hard work, and he's been training his butt off. I mean, Richard's been here so much, man, constantly training, staying here late after night, doing extra training. This man has been working. So, I'm excited for this matchup between him and Dustin Bailey. Because as much as everybody want to think, you see Dustin, a lot of people think, after seeing what he did to Jordan Lewis, and yes, Jordan Lewis is no slouch. Let's be honest. Jordan Lewis is tough, son of a gun. What Dustin Bailey did to him, it made everybody think, oh man, well, who is this Dustin Bailey? And I really believe now is Richard's opportunity for him to be able to do that same thing, to show people, okay, who is this Richard Guerrero? Finally get a chance to go into this cage and really express himself and really show all the skills that he's been doing and been training for the longest. Because to be honest with you, I really believe out of the 3 fights for Richard, out of the 3 fights for Dustin, you haven't seen everything in their tool bag. A lot of their fights been fast. They've been beating guys really fast, first rounds. So you don't really see much in their tool bag. So I'm excited to see what Richard brings to the table. And Richard can attest to you, man. It's the training. It's the guys that he's training with, man. He's training with a room full of tough guys with himself. He's tough. Just got done doing a tough day today. So Richard can tell you himself, man. He's been really, really gearing after it.
Of course, rounding out our panel here. Then I actually just heard we got Dustin Bailey joining us here after this one. Greg, wrap us up here with Richard. You're another guy that has been a big part of his training, and he's helped you out in your camps as well. It kind of is nice because all these 170 Agogi, 185, 170 Agogi guys are kind of lining up here at the same time.
Yeah, me and Richard have gotten to tussle back and forth, but I want to talk to Richard a little bit more about him out of the cage, just a little bit about the person that Richard might be. Could you back up a second, Richard, and show me your shirt right there? I happen to know what that is. Richard started his own company. That's his logo right there for Warrior Home Improvement. All right, so this man, he wasn't born in America, but he's came over here. He's bilingual. I'm not. I can't speak 2 languages. You know what I'm saying? So that itself,
one language.
I mean, that's no. I can't even do that. That's no small feat. You know what I'm saying? So that itself, I know him. So, I've met his father. And I've seen him with a bunch of his Mexican and Peruvian, brothers and friends and everything. So, I know you mentioned earlier about how you love the competitiveness and how there's no lie in the cage, but I mean, to the deeper aspect of it, man, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do it at all. There's no reason for you to do it. You make decent money doing what you do, and you're a great guy. You're great with sales. You're phenomenal outside of caging. Like you said, you're a gentleman, and that goes a long way. Why? What is your why, though? Why do this? Why?
I need it. Personally, I think it levels me out. I think that's why I wax poetic about it, to just generally, people around my age, because I think a lot of people need some sort of physical release, physical confrontation. They need to get punched in the face. They need to get choked. They need to get put in these positions where they're under direct adversity, and, you overcome them, and then everything else in life just flows right after that. And so the simplest way that I can really put into it, Greg, is that it's necessary for me to be successful in other areas of life. That's why
well-rounded.
I give it all I can in training and in the cage, and everything else just flows through that. It may not work for everyone, and it definitely doesn't. When I first started training, I told everyone I could about this awesome thing that I'm doing, and I brought a couple friends in. They got punched in the face, and they were like, "Oh, this is terrible. Like, I'll never do this again. What are you doing?" And like it clicked. I was like, "Okay, well, it's not for everyone, right?" But I need it. It helps me out so much. It helps me out mentally. It helps me out physically, and it flows into all other areas of life. I'm 28 right now, and that's why I said like I'm grateful and I'm thankful to be able to be in a place where I can challenge for a title and I can call for a tough fight and get ready for it, because I think being at this place right now where I'm at in life, this is just another thing that's going to be necessary for my overall success, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be successful. So, yeah, it's come February 4th. We're going to have more success, and it's going to be a war. It's going to be a show. Dustin Bailey has never had anyone take a fight to him, and I'm going to take it to him.
Let's go.
He's going to feel me.
Hey, I love it. I love the attitude, man. And not a lot of guys. I mean, you called for this knowing that who's going to have this belt more or less, and to go into something, go in there gung ho against a guy that is going to test you and really put that at risk. Props to you, man, because like you said, nobody has been able to really just get in his ass yet and bring it. If you could do that, who knows, man? I think no matter what, we're going to get a war. And man, I want to let you give some shout outs where they're due. Any sponsor love, training partners, friends, family. I'm going to let you give them some love, and also let our listeners know where they can follow your social media so they keep up with your upcoming fights as we get ready to get into this co-main event.
Yeah, well, I want to shout out, everybody that I trained with at Agogi Combatives. It's obviously, Greg, Torres, Logan, Kenny, all these guys that have Zaine, who's the main event for this card series. It really is a team effort. So all the guys that give me all these tough looks training, it's been a really hard training camp, and it was that by design. A lot of the more experienced fighters really took it to me, and that was really helpful towards my motivation. But sometimes it's people can get caught up in just thanking the fighters and the people who just train MMA. There's guys in jiu-jitsu that give me great looks. There's guys that just do Muay Thai that give me great looks. And it really is the whole village over Agogi Combatives, from the coaches to everyone. I feel like when I go in there, it's everyone behind me. And I think all the fighters can say that. Outside of that, I want to thank my sponsors, Home Rate Mortgage, Luke Wilson, Monkey and Mead, and Hemp House. It means a lot when people believe in me, because I'm just a guy who happens to get into a cage, and if people want to give me money about it, then yeehaw. And I appreciate the support. It humbles me more than anything. So yeah. And as far as my social media handles, I am at Peruvian Hammer in Twitter, Instagram, I guess Facebook. It's just Richard Guerrero on Facebook. But yeah, I kind of rant about just general things on my Twitter and Instagram. But I definitely post fight updates. I definitely post about when I'll be fighting and how I feel about current fights and all that. So yeah, y'all follow along, and it's definitely going to be a show.
One more time, this has been the Peruvian Hammer, Richard Guerrero, ahead of his 170-pound title fight. It's going down February 4th. Aries 4 taking on Dustin Bailey. Thanks so much for the time, Richard. We're really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, y'all.
All right. Richard Guerrero, pumped up, man. That's I'm excited. It's going to be a good fight, and we're going to talk to his opponent now as Dustin Bailey gets ready to join us. Bring him on in, Jeff, as we've got the champ himself, Dustin Bailey in the house. Dustin, what's going on?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
We appreciate you joining us, my man. The champ. It's okay. Not so bad. We've had worse. So the champ is here. The Aries reigning and defending 170-pound champion, coming off a big win over Jordan Lewis last time out in a fight where, I'm not saying that I didn't expect you to win, but I didn't expect you to just run roughshod over a very tough guy in Jordan Lewis. Before we get into this fight coming up, this is the first time we've had you on the show. So let's kind of, relive that one, man. Talk a little bit about that fight. What's been going on with you since? Getting ready to make that defense here and try to keep that record undefeated against a very tough Richard Guerrero, who we just spoke to.
Yeah, man, it was a great fight. I didn't expect it to go that well either. Especially hearing everything I did about Jordan leading up to the fight. I thought I was going to have to work off my back a lot more, especially going against a wrestler. I thought I was going to force him to wrestle in that fight. And again, fortunately, I got him out of there early enough to where I didn't have to lay under that big body. So I'm grateful for that win, man, and excited to head into this fight too.
Now, of course, you've got an undefeated guy standing in front of you, Richard Guerrero. We've gone through the kind of the stats here. Both of you guys, all wins by rear naked choke in the first round. So, you guys both have showed some great submission acumen. We talked to Richard just now, and we kind of talked about how you guys had your grappling match after the Nashville show here a few months back, and just kind of the mindset. You got the win in that one. We'll ask you kind of the same thing. Jeff asked. I'll steal Jeff's question more or less, but he had asked Richard. He tapped you at that grappling tournament. Does that, are you the type that you let that kind of fester in your head and you're like, oh man, he's got this on me? Or do you use it as, motivation? Hey, you may have got this on me, but, if you think that you're going to take me, lightly coming in this next round, which is a fight, then you're mistaken. How does that work for the winner here? Is this something where you kind of like, well, I felt what he's got, I'm not worried about it. Or is it something that that, hey, you can't take this guy lightly?
I don't take much from that match. It was so quick again. I think both of us were nervous, knowing we were going into an MMA fight together. Richard was probably a little bit more hesitant than he might have been, knowing we were going to fight when we're throwing hands. I think he'll definitely come with a lot more pressure than he did in that grappling match, which changes everything. Hopefully, for me, I hope the result's still the same. I hope I'm able to get to that back and still maybe get a fourth rear naked choke out of it. But I'm ready for wherever this fight goes. I knew it lit a fire under Richard after that match, which it did me as well, man. I'm training for the next level right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not necessarily looking past Richard at any aspect. I know that man is going to bring the toughest fight I've had so far, just because of the mindset that he has as an individual. He's not going to be a quitter. So if this fight goes into later rounds, one of us are going to have to break, and I plan on breaking him February 4th. So.
Torres Finney, you've had the pleasure of calling fights alongside Dustin as well. We've got to give Dustin some props, man. We bragged on you. Actually, very good commentary hand. So we got to definitely catch that again. Torres, what you got for Hollywood?
Excited to see Dustin, man. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited for this fight against Richard, man. This is obviously, I'm one of the Richard's training partners, obviously helping them get ready a lot of the guys here. But, man, this fight is exciting as a fan by itself. Get an opportunity to see these two guys, like I said, like Tim said, all finishes by rear naked choke. What are the odds? There should be some 24/7 action 24/7 odds.
Yeah.
What are the chance of this isn't a rear naked choke? But, man, obviously, we're not, I can't say, oh, what's your game plan or not. But what have you been doing in training up to this point, probably to get ready for this upcoming fight? Because as you just said, you're training for the next level, so potentially could this be your last amateur fight?
I think I've got one more after Richard. I've already kind of got it lined up, but it's a little farther out to announce anything yet. After that, I think that pro step is the next step. But man, the mindset right now is just making my body as tough as possible. I feel like I have a natural fighting ability. I'm humble about it in all ways. And so what I'm trying to do is just push my body in every way. I'm hardening everything, man. I'm putting in a lot more work than I've put in for any other fight. Like I said, just knowing where I want to be in the next year. I want to put on some really special fights, show my worth before I turn pro. So again, man, I'm just I'm fine tuning everything right now. I'm getting everything conditioned. I'm ready for 5 rounds. But I promise you, from the bell, it's going to be nothing but violence. That's what I'm planning on doing.
Well, yeah,
Greg
man.
Hopkins,
I also
no, Torres, go ahead.
just
No,
said,
yeah, please.
Congratulations. I just saw you also had got purple belt.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Congratulations on that. And so that's another big thing coming to the.
Yeah, a big accomplishment for sure. You hear about a lot of guys getting to that blue, having the perseverance to stick it through for purple is definitely that where you start seeing guys are totally are committed, if you will. Greg, you've been there for several of Dustin's fights, calling the action cage side, and then of course another training partner of Richard Guerrero here. Your take.
Yeah, so I actually last got to talk to Dustin at the last show with the Joe, and I was taking the backdrop down, and not to get into his personal life, but I did get into Richard's personal life a little bit, and I asked him. I'm going to ask Dustin the same question. I'm going to sum mine up because I don't know Dustin as well, but I could go on a little bit more about Richard, but I do want to ask you this. You did mention some things that were close to your heart. You're a father. Same thing, same question. Did you grow up, man, playing any sports? Did you grow up wrestling? Did you do anything growing up, man? But ultimately, I want to know that background. I just want to know that background. But I also want to know why you do this. Like instantly, like what's the instant gratification for why you do this? Like, or dig deep and tell me, like, we know your goals. You're fighting for the next level in this, but like, what is there's that driving factor in your life? What is it?
Oh, the driving factor, man, is definitely the daughter. 100%. She enjoys me fighting, man. She sees that it brings out the best in me. She goes with me to a lot of my classes, watches me train, and most of the time she's my training partner, and my biggest critic. She doesn't let me miss a rep or a set. So she's my number one factor when it comes to why I do this still, and why I want to go to the next level. She believes in me, and so I think I owe it to her at this point in my life to show her that what I'm capable of. As far as where I come from, man, I did wrestle in high school. I wrestled for Christiansburg out of Virginia.
Okay.
We were a pretty big school.
Yeah, I remember y'all wrestling at Virginia Beach Nationals when I was in school. I remember Christian Great Bridge. What was it?
It's Christiansburg.
Christiansburg. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we were like 20-time state champs, and
yeah, I know. I didn't know you wrestled there. That's top dog shit in Virginia, man. That's awesome.
So we had some good guys there, and I never really got to peak because I was always in trouble in high school, man. I was not really going to classes and wanted to party and hang out with the guys more than I wanted to get the grades, and that doesn't work.
Being in that caliber of wrestling room when you're working with a state champion over here, well, guess what? You're going up against another state champion right now. He may be 20 or 30 pounds less than you, or higher, but you're wrestling state champs every day, and that does take its toll and pay a difference in life itself. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, man, we had some national champs over there too, so it was it's pretty nice. We had Cody Gardner at 225 pounds, and Devin Carter, a couple other guys. Joey Dance went to the Olympics, so we had a room full of killers, man. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you see guys like that making it to that next level. It's definitely something. It's motivating,
You got to live up to it too. You got to live up to that.
Yeah, man. You don't want to be the B team forever, so you always that's what you're trying to work your way up, for sure.
Jeff Hobbs, round us out here with Dustin. This is this to me is, I think, without a doubt, this is Richard Guerrero's toughest test. But I think honestly, just the mindset that Richard has and the motive, the fire that he's showing, it presents an air of danger maybe that Dustin hasn't quite seen yet from his opponents. I think the first couple guys may have been a little overwhelmed, more or less, just by the outclassed, if you will, a little bit. But then, Jordan Lewis a step up, obviously, and now Richard Guerrero coming from that Agogi camp. Your take?
Yeah, I mean, two really skilled fighters, but I think their approach is significantly different. Richard, I think, hits the pedal to the metal and is on 100, and Dustin, in my opinion, kind of hits that nice, steady cruise. Like, I'm going to get there when I get there, and Richard goes running, towards it. So both effective for each one, but, definitely a different style. So, at the end of the day, we got 2 undefeated fighters. Dustin was our first, if I'm not mistaken, Aries champion. He will now be the
Torres technically, but he's our first 170. Yeah.
Yes, but Dustin will be our first defense of a title.
True.
Dustin will be our first defense of the title. So I'm definitely personally, proud of that feat happening and happy that Dustin is the person doing that. But Dustin, I'm going off the rails here. I'm not afraid to give another promotion shine, and this one in particular, because once Tim put me onto it, I got hooked, man. Just briefly, talk to me about, and I say this with all due respect because I fucking love it, is the Rough and Rowdy, this train wreck of Rough and Rowdy, man. What is that shit like over there when you're not – we watch it on TV. You're in it, man. You're in it. What is the circus like, dude?
Oh, man, probably what you see on TV is the calmest moment of the entire night.
I just picture everybody in the back snorting lines and fucking hookers and everything.
Man, I'm not going to comment on what people do, but I'm going to say there's a lot of
glory holes in the bathroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of perks to it, for sure.
Just a dwarf walking by. Here goes a goat. What is he doing here? What's going on, man?
Man, people love it. That's kind of what got me. Actually, the promoter, they had somebody fall out. I'll tell you how I kind of got into it. They just had somebody fall out, man, and they sent me a message saying they needed a fight. It was the same day. So I got in the car, started driving. I got 3 hours down there. They said, hey, your guy fell out. I was like, oh, shit. So I started to turn around, got 2 hours back. They said, hey, we found somebody else. I turned around, drove back down there. And the guy that I was fighting, man, it was scary. This guy looked like, something like Floyd Mayweather, gym guy. He's over like throwing 12-punch combos in the corner. I thought I'd got hustled into a good show for everybody else, anyways. And the fight went well for me. I ended up getting a heavyweight title shot off of that, and then a middleweight title shot. And the shows just kept getting bigger, though. Dave Portnoy over there and Barstool, man, they know how to party out big. So,
hell yeah, he does.
When you're there, they treat you pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. So,
all right. Well, if you ever need a +1, bro,
always.
Let me
7 quartermen.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome, man. We definitely got to check that out. And if you ever get those guys our way, we will be there to support with bells on, man, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, my man. So before we wrap this up, I'm gonna let you give some shout outs where they are due. Any sponsors, friends, family, training partners, all that good stuff. Give them some love, man. Let people know why they got to check out this title defense coming up here in a couple weeks.
Well, first off, man, I got to thank everybody, of course, over at Team Manning where I train. I couldn't do it without any of those guys. They push me every day in the gym to get better. I'm constantly in there losing fights, so it doesn't make it so bad when you have to step in the cage. I got to thank Gates Flowers, man. That's a new sponsor I just picked up. My friend Seth Gillespie. It's a new business for him. I definitely want to show love. He's had my back, so I definitely want to shout him out. And my father-in-law, actually, I'll just call him my father, Todd Nichols. He's been sponsoring me, man. So that's something else I gotta show love to him there. So as far as what to expect for the fight, though, man, and again, I'm not as good with words as Richard, I'd say. Again, after watching him speak, it's always harder to think I'm gonna have to punch him. But I'm coming to really set an example out of this fight. Again, this is my next step. I don't see anybody at 170 right now that would step in this fight and win. So I'm really going to come out and put on a show for everybody at the Joe. And again, show my daughter why I do this, show my fans why I do this, all my sponsors and stuff like that. So, and thank you again, Tim. Thank you guys for having me as well.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. You can catch Hollywood Dustin Bailey defending that 170 strap coming up in 2 weeks. It's February the 4th, and it's Aries 4 from the world-famous Cotton Eye Joe. You can catch the pay-per-view for this one on CombatCast.tv. And, man, always a pleasure talking to you, Dustin. Of course, I'm sure we'll have you back in the commentary booth before too long. We'll see you here in a couple of weeks.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Sir, see you, brother.
See you.
All right. Another good one, man. That's going to be two guys I like a lot. I hate to see either guy take a loss, but I know that we're going to get a good show out of it. I know that both these guys are going to really push each other, to their limits and put on a show with the Joe. One more guest on tap. We've talked to this guy before. Let's get him back in here, though. Zaine Burton.
Hell, he's been talking. He's been talking the whole damn time. He's been in the waiting room, man.
Zaine has been patiently waiting here.
I wouldn't call it patiently, man. Y'all can't see the waiting room. I'm getting flipped off over here. I'm getting he's taking his clothes off a few times over here. I don't know where Logan went. I saw his head, and all of a sudden I saw it go down. I don't know.
Oh, is Logan there?
So that means he's still here at the gym.
He's still down there. He's still there.
No, Logan left.
Okay, good.
Wait, why do I hear you right across the...
Don't worry about it, Fitty.
Oh, my goodness. Dude.
Zaine Burton in the house. Zaine, what's going on, my man? Get ready to go for the first ever Aries Light Heavyweight Championship. We've been throwing out belts for the first time for our first shows, and you're the guy first up for this 205 title, taking on Tristan Scarborough, a guy that we're very familiar with. Y'all are going to be the main event, man. Main event, motherfucker. What's going on? You ready to rock and roll or what? How's it going?
Man, I'm be honest. I'm going crazy over here. Like literally, this is all I think about every day. Like I'm just ready to fight. Like I hate waiting. Like I wish I could just fight every week, but we can't do that because we gotta preserve my body some, at least for right now. But I've just been ready to fight. Like after my last fight, I wanted to fight him. Like I've been saying I wanted to fight him forever. So I usually get what I want, so we'll see. We'll see.
Of course, Tristan, a guy that Torres has fought. We've seen Tristan in a cage several times. No easy task, man. Tristan's a guy that is very durable, very very skilled, and honestly, since he's joined up over at that Hobbs Jackson Wing Camp, evolving his game, each and every time. What do you see in this fight where you've got what makes you confident in this fight? He's a guy that has. He's been in there with a pretty tough level of competition already. I do think it's safe to say that he will be your toughest fight to date.
I think that he will be my toughest fight because he has more experience than all the other guys that I fought. And he's fought in some bigger fights, so he's been in the championship fights. This will be my first ever one. He's had more experience, but everybody I fought I've had more experience, for my first fight, that was Muay Thai. I think he had like 3 fights already, maybe. And then everybody else they've had, they've usually had them either more fights or that we've just had the same recently, now because I have had 2 MMA fights. So, I have as many fights as some guys now, but he has more. And, I think this will be I think it's going to be a good day for me. I think he's okay at striking, I think he has a good left hook. We'll say that. But I just think that if I come out there, and I sort of do my game plan and I just sort of pick up where Finney left off, I'll see if he really has worked his jiu-jitsu or not. But that's going to be the thing is the takedowns and what's next. So, that's really all I can say.
Greg, you've been in camp with Zaine many a times. You're familiar with Tristan as well. What's your take on this one?
Well, Zaine's a fellow Ringoldian. Me and him are from the same town, went to the same high school and everything. So I know Zaine. Well, I'm sorry, he went to Heritage. He went to one of the rival schools. Never mind, take that back. He went to Heritage. Although he's from Ringgold. And I know his family, he comes from a big background of kickboxing and just some stand-up game. But for some reason, he likes to wrestle a lot. He likes to grab a hold of people and bully them around. I don't know that he'll be able to bully Tristan around like he's able to a lot of these guys in the gym. Tristan's a lot bigger. That's going to play a factor in this fight, I believe. But with that being said, I don't necessarily think that Tristan has really fought a striker per like Zaine, to say, because I think that Zaine, he's got a lot of, his mom's a former world champion. He works out with her quite often. He's in there in the gym, grinding and whatnot. And I just don't believe that Tristan may be getting them same looks up there. He may be getting them up there at Hobbs, but I'm not so sure. I don't know how this fight's going to go, but like, how do you feel with people saying that, Tristan's going to have the size advantage? He's going to be able to throw you against the cage and hold you for a little bit. Who are you talking to over there? Tell us. We're talking to you right now, Zaine. You tell Logan to shut up.
It's not Logan. No, bro. It's like the worst of the worst of the Gogi.
It's Mac.
Oh,
yes. You see,
yeah.
You already knew.
It's Mac.
Mac, just go ahead and go.
So I know he's got something to say, but I mean, Woody, how do you feel about that with people coming in here saying that, Tristan's got the experience factor, he's got the weight factor, he's going to be able to probably bully you around, maybe, solidify you, keep you at bay, and not let you get off any kicks, any fancy nothing. I mean, tell me what your take is on that right there.
I mean, to be honest, all those people who sort of say that, I'm like, y'all don't really see me train for one. Me in the gym, I'll say this, I get a lot better looks in the gym than I've had in some of my fights, with my partner being Finney and some of the other guys we train with, like Logan, Neil, and just some of the new additions like Garrett Gross. Like I just get better looks. So to me, it's been a thing on. It's not a thing of like experience or anything like that. Y'all have never really seen me strike. Nobody's ever made me have to strike. I've just been able to move and use my wrestling, because at a Gogi, that's the game plan. We take them down, handle our business there, because we're a jiu-jitsu gym. But, I mean, on the thing of where y'all said size, I don't think he's bigger than me than like what everybody thinks. I think he's a little wider. Yeah, we'll say that. He's wider.
He's a little wider.
But, like, if you actually put us beside each other and stuff and you look at us, it's going to be one of those things sort of where it's like, dang, like this is a big guy, but damn, this other guy's long. And I just, y'all going to get to see us. I'm not as little as I look. I just look thin until I take everything off. But, we'll keep it like that.
Jeff Hobbs, what you got?
Well, I just want to go on record and say when Zaine was talking about getting better looks at the gym, he did not mention Greg Hopkins. Just for
That's true. That's true.
Well, listen, in Greg's defense, Greg's been, he's been getting ready to get his pro career back on track, man. Getting his knees
back
right.
on track.
All right, he teaches me some stuff. He's one of the OGs. He's put me on game. But
I don't even know what to ask you, Zaine. You damn. When I grow up, I want to be Zaine Burton, pretty much. Man.
You don't want to be me.
I'm telling you, you're always fucking smiling, no matter what. I don't know. You like you said, you get what you want every time you ask for it. You wanted a title fight, you got it. Hell, you wanted to. Hey Tim, let me come up there and handle them ring girl contest. I'll take care of.
I was about to say you should see him at the club. He handles business everywhere.
You get that, and damn, you didn't do a bit of work, but I know you got every one of them's damn phone number. Before you left out of there. Tim pretty much just put it out there, man. You're the freaking main event, man. How does that feel? The show is all about you. You are the headliner. You read down the card. You're the last name on it.
It's just wild because, like, I didn't think it would be this soon, but at the same time, I was just sort of like, like I want a title shot, and I watch my fights, and then I hear everybody, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe, and then all of a sudden, Tim hits me with this beautiful thing of, hey man, you want to fight a main event? And I'm like, well, damn, yeah, like,
yes, I do.
Like, I'm always down to fight because that's what keeps me smiling, man. Just the combat and just the fight, and to make it the main event, like the one that people are coming to watch and stuff. Like it's fun, and it just says a lot because it says, it says that I have that factor of I can bring people to the sport, and and it's a little cold in here, so don't mind my voice.
I know I make you nervous. It's all right.
Yeah, you do, man. I mean,
Well, listen, man.
I'm
You
saying
said
if somebody,
He's thinking about that fight right now. He's
you
getting
also
up.
said you. So you
a little
just
bit,
said
I'm faking a
I
little
bring
bit, I'm a
people.
little scared. What
You
were you
said I
saying?
bring people. You said I bring people, and I want to touch on that too, man. You know, you also said, hey, man, put me on one of these shows with that little them better ticket prices, man, because I'm bringing people. So we got you at the Joe, man. Are the Zaniacs coming to fucking Knoxville, man? Are they
Man,
coming?
yeah, they should be. I mean, usually there's a crowd, and if not, if they don't, they just come. Sometimes I take people's fans, like it's not a thing that I mean to, but I mean, bro, I mean it's just a thing of I'm myself. People like me, You're not gonna meet a person like me. I mean, my voice don't match my body. I don't dress like how I sound, so it's a little interesting around here, So
Well, I would suggest if you take anybody's fans of the Joe, have them please go up to the ticket booth and tell them to change the name on the fighter that they bought their tickets for. Just send them up there and say that surely they'll let you do that, man. Just say, hey, if you're with me,
Y'all
man,
cheering me now.
yeah, go tell them that you want to change the fighter that you bought tickets for.
man, I would if y'all shoot. Don't tell me that.
I can appreciate the hustle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Torres!
shoot, I already told y'all do everything I can.
Torres, you've been in there with Tristan. You train with Zaine, so I'd say if anybody's got a pretty good line on this fight, it would be you. Now, putting aside the fact that Zaine seems to be kind of coming behind you and picking up your trinkets, after you're done with him and taking on your opponents after you've already beat him. I'm playing. I'm just giving you shit.
There's
Actually,
look. It's not your fault, Tim. It's not your fault because look. In the 205 class, I said this after my last fight. If anybody wants to fight me, I am game. But until somebody steps up in my name, I'm going to pick whoever I think is that good guy. I'm blessed. He's a good guy. I have more names in my list, but we're going to save those. We're going to save them. We're going to handle business. We're going to bring the belt back home. We're going to pick up from there. But I mean, like I have a list. I do, and there's going to be some people, I want to fight out of state, if I can, fight different places, fight some other people. But, until that 205er or that 185er that really just says, like you're going to be the one that really challenges me, I'm not, but I'm not like, I'm just not one of the, like, I almost thought about kickboxing because I was like, shoot, I might be able to find some work there. I'll pick up a couple IFKs till somebody comes up, work on my craft, but I mean, it's the thing of, I'm going to fight what excites me. I'm not out here to fight cans. I want to get in here, get these good quality matches, get everything right. So when I go pro, it's 3-4 fights and then boom, I might get a call. I do what I need to do, fill out my little legacy of what I want, then go move off, coach somewhere, maybe live in the woods, kidnap Greg. We won't talk about that.
That's a whole other episode. Torres, if you've got a word of advice coming out of your experience with Tristan, what's the main thing you see Zaine need to be wary of?
Man, I mean, look, I've given him all the tips that I could give him. The good thing about with Tristan, so guys in here that that's going an indication of fighting each other that I really like. He's rooting for Zaine, obviously, because he's my teammate, and I've helped Zaine a lot. This few man, we've been in training, we've been going at it. Always smiling. He's always enjoying it. There's not many people you can face that they actually enjoy it. But Zaine, man, he's tough, man. He's hard nosed. He's bringing it, and a lot of people don't know a lot about his shooting, and he bring that to the table, and it's gonna be it'll be really nutrition, and obviously.
Okay, we lose Torres.
But getting that,
he's back
again.
Oh, you lost?
Yeah. The last probably 15 seconds.
You have trash Wi-Fi over there, Finney.
I was to say Zane's taking all the Wi-Fi.
I think that's where my Wi-Fi's up because you are above me. Dude. But anyway, basically what I was saying is this is gonna be a fun fight. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what Zaine's able to bring to the table. Because he is exciting to watch, man. Every fight he's been in it's been a banger. It's been fun, man. So I'm excited to watch it and call it. And him and Tristan gonna throw down, man. Because I know Tristan's coming. You gotta remember, Tristan, he's 0-2 in his title fights, man. And he just had some tough outings. And him to come and get ready in this one, I think he's gonna come in this fight with a chip on his shoulder. So this would be no easy task. Very similar. I mean, and this isn't the first time for Zaine. Zaine had when he fought Antonio Hope, Antonio had just fought me and John. Antonio, and you saw he come out with on purpose. He was trying to take Zaine's head off.
Hey,
everybody. I feel like Tristan is going to try to do the same thing. But I do believe Zaine is ready. Zaine will be prepared, and it's going to be a really awesome and fun fight. What you got to say, Zaine? I know you're down there champion.
Yeah, man. You come up here, you beat everybody up, and they all get mad and they want to fight me, and they're like, I don't understand that, man. They have a personal vendetta against you, man. Wow. Him just puts me up against monsters, and then I'm just like, okay, I guess. Shit, I'm just a regular guy.
Hey. This is a potential 5-round fight. Do we get a finish here, Zaine, or no? 5 rounds, long time.
It is. I've told him that.
So look. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all a couple questions. Okay, let's go what y'all gonna think. All right. So Tim, pick a number 1 through 5.
4.
Okay, you want 4. It's not going to the 4th round.
Okay.
Greg.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is Greg's question. Now.
Okay.
What round are you thinking?
3rd.
Maybe he's gonna have to do a couple things. Maybe if he can hold on. I've watched Finney's fight. If he can hold on, maybe Finney. All right, you training. So I'm gonna ask you a question that's different than theirs. Stand up or ground?
Why are you putting me in a rock in a hard place?
Okay. I won't do you like that. I'll come back to you, Jeff.
I mean, obviously, I know what you're doing, but we. I mean, what are you doing?
Do you go natural habit? You got to think, man. You got to get him back, Jeff. What do you think? Feet or standing?
If you're leading this dance, it doesn't stay standing longer than a minute and a half. It doesn't stay standing longer than a minute if you're leading the dance.
Okay.
I don't think we've seen Tristan shoot for a takedown.
You better not. That's all I'm gonna say. But encourage everybody to do something great. All right, Finney. Do you think he's worked jiu-jitsu?
Does he what? Say it again.
Do you think he's worked jiu-jitsu? Y'all are friends. Do you think he's worked jiu-jitsu?
I think he is. I do believe Tristan is working jiu-jitsu. Yes.
All right. I got you. I got you on what I think. So what I think is, if he comes out there with the same mindset of what he fought Finney, he'll probably run away and get taken down with a trip, and that will be the end. But if he plays the long game and he actually does right and has good takedown defense, we're gonna have a Muay Thai fight standing maybe, but I don't think it goes past the 3rd. I think it's gonna be fun. So I think Greg's gonna be right. I'm gonna prove Jeff wrong probably, but if he swings wild, but Jeff's probably gonna be right.
What I said.
Jeff's probably gonna be right.
Wait a minute. Didn't Jeff say you would take him down in a minute?
Yeah.
I said it won't stay standing longer than a minute. I think it goes to the ground. I think it goes to the ground quick.
I think it's a Muay Thai fight.
Hey, listen, we've seen in the UFC 2 black belt jiu-jitsu guys that we think, holy shit, we're fixing to see a clinic, and it stays standing the whole damn thing.
Banging.
It just depends. It's it just depends. But no, I think though, if I'm going natural, I think probably Killer Instinct takes over, maybe a minute. I think within that, not a minute, first round. I think first round probably slip, takedown, smash. If
you get hit hard
enough,
enough,
on it, he doesn't give me a chance to shoot, huh?
You get hit hard enough, I bet you take it to the ground.
Maybe if he has that.
Fuck, I would. It hits me a lot hard enough.
Have you? Okay, look. I want you to look in the corner.
We get around Tristan's pretty big dude.
Have you seen who I get hit by every day?
Fair.
I get hit by Finney every day, and Greg. Greg hits like a little cannon. Like, you gotta realize, dude, I'm talking about legitly hit. Okay, like Andre can hit, but if he's not coming with that same power, I think we stand and bang. You know, something pretty happens, but I probably take him down and finish him. But I think Greg's probably right on the third round though, because he has experience. I give him that thing. I'm giving him that edge, so I think third round finish. I'm gonna go.
All right, look.
Third round.
You get it done fast.
I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So I'm just gonna say, Tristan is gonna be a little bit better than when he fought me. Obviously, me and Jane have already talked about this. So this is just for the viewers. Obviously, yes, Tristan's gonna be a little bit better than he fought me. He's actually in a real camp. He's gonna be doing a lot of different things to help. Obviously, his last 2 fights he has lost because of his takedown defense. Obviously, I think he's going to be working on that, understanding the gym you're coming from.
He actually won his last one.
Knockout was nice, though.
Exactly. He won his last fight. Not his last 2 fights, but it's Colin Robinson and me. But yes, he won his last fight by knockout. Really nice knockout. And I think he's going to come hard. But yes, I do believe Zaine can get the finish. We have talked about this now. Do I know which round? I do not. But I do believe it's hard for me to see this fight going the full 5 rounds, especially with these 2 big boys. So I do see a finish coming. Plus, nobody wants to go 5-3s. I can just go in and tell you that. So
we'll have to get Tristan on here next week to rebuttal all this.
But third round he's getting dropped, finished on the ground probably.
He may not be able to sit through this whole thing and watch it.
Lateral drop.
I tell you, we done went so far off the rails now. Fuck it, Zaine. How many girls you dating? How many girls you dating right now? How many?
Man, I'm single, man. I don't date that much, man. I'm usually at the gym with Finney.
I'm sorry, I said dating. How many girls you hooking up with right now?
Nobody, dude. I'm here with Finney half the time, man. Ask him. I wish, bro.
Let's go ahead and get all the questions out.
Yeah, man. No women.
All right.
But hey, I got a woman though. If you want a tattoo, she can hook you up.
Really?
All right, look.
Mainline Ink. You got to go to Mainline Ink. Hey. Oh shit, this thing's mirrored. But yeah, hey, Miss Jennifer Edge, she does the best work.
Yeah, put that up there. Let's see this shit. What we got?
Look, Zaine, I gotta use the bathroom, dude. You better get to calling out your sponsors.
I can't.
Let's wrap this bad boy up. Zaine, it's been a circus here since you've joined us. Honestly, we've lost control of the show. I'm going to let you wrap us up. Give us some sponsor love, some shout outs. Let's get this bad boy wrapped up.
Got y'all. I'd like to give a sponsor out to Dwayne Madden over there at Hemp House. You know, he gives me the good stuff that I need to get right so, I can recover and perform my best ability. Shout out to Mainline Ink over there, Miss Jennifer Edge. She gets me right with the body art, keeps me looking good. And shout out to Lone Wolf, Granite Company with Jefferson Marley over there, man. He's doing good over there. And just shout out to PKP, for getting us right over here and everything. Just, they're doing the best. And shout out to all the people at the gym who help us get better. So like how Richard said, everybody helps everybody here, The Village makes us better with Logan, Finney, Richard, Josh, Greg, Sterling, Larry, Matt. They all put us through the ringer and make us better fighters. So, everything's right over here. And those are all my shout outs. Thank y'all for having me.
Zaine Burton getting ready to main event Aries 4 going down February 4th. World famous Cotton Eye Joe. Catch pay-per-view at combatcast.tv. Get your tickets at fighterticksfromthenext.com. Select Zaine. So he gets a little pocket change there on his commission. And, man, Zaine, I've got to say, you're probably one of the most low-key, arrogant guys that we've had the privilege to talk so much shit, but still never really talk shit. You talk shit in the most likable, polite way possible, I guess. Definitely interested to see how it shakes out, my man. I like it. It's a very different approach than we get most.
He hangs with Brevin a lot. They hang.
Yeah, bro.
So that's foolishness.
Hey, we're about to be popping off some talks with Brevin on a title fight coming up. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Heck yeah!
That'd be fun too. Oh shit! All right, Zaine. Hey, we appreciate the time, brother. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
See you.
All right. Talk about things going off the rails. That was definitely one of our looser interviews. It's fun though. It's fun. It's one of those where it's hard to really tell like where the shit talk begins and where the joking begins. It's gonna be a good fight. I know that much. And man, we've gone over. Hey, we appreciate everybody sitting with us out there. We've got 2 weeks left till we get to Aries 4. Make sure you get your plays in at Aries using promo code Aries at Action 24/7. Get your match bonus. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Like our social media. Till next time, Greg Hopkins, Jeff Hobbs, Torres Finney, Justin Watson out there somewhere. I'm Tim Lloyd signing off for another edition of the 0 Hour. Thanks for watching.
If you want to stick around, Zane's going to do an after hours show as well.
God.
After 0 hour.